The train. Yeah. Hello, you guys, over here at my little small, humble channel that, you know, when I look at where this channel could have went, it doesn't bother me because I learned what was important and I held on to my integrity straight up and down. Hello, guys. This is High Priestess Jamila. And so now we've got people who have been thrashed by the real hierarchy, who is now coming for them, been coming for them, will continue to come for them um, for the things that they did. So um, I got a few things that I need to take care of. So this particular thing that I want to talk about, um, this little thing that I want to talk about ain't gonna take that long, okay? And so, people, I want y'all to, in particular, pay attention to the paragraph on um, that post that I did on the community wall. Now, why this mouth over here? This mouth is just really messing with me, y'all. Hey, Stevan. Hello. We eating leftover spaghetti, and since it's been a lot of graveyard shift going on, we eating late again. Like, oh my goodness, it is just really sick and ridiculous. Okay, so I want to hit this up real quick, and I want to talk about unethical readers and unethical practitioners on here. And I'm here to educate, but I'm also here to speak out for so many of us that have fell victim to some of these people on this website who thought that they were I guess they thought that they had authority. Maybe they didn't think that they had authority, but they were kind of mimicking what we call the elites. And then some of them probably are connected and tied with, certain secret societies and things of that nature, possibly. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't. And it doesn't matter how much money they have or what they think they have. Um, I don't, for one, believe that they were supposed to do anything that they were doing. So let me just start out so that y'all don't get confused about what I'm talking about. I want to talk about your Akashic records, okay? And your Akashic records is a lot more complicated than what people think it is. There are so many people that are very limited to their knowledge and understanding, but then again, there are some people that are very well versed on your Akashic records. And so pretty much Akashic records is pretty much like a blueprint to your soul, as well as your family and your bloodline. No matter what race that you are, race does not matter, but it tells a lot about kind of the ins and outs of who you are, um, and it doesn't, I honestly do not believe that it, in comparison to one another, it is supposed to be this guidebook as to who is the most powerful or more special, because everybody should be special to themselves. Everybody should be special to themselves. You're supposed to be special to yourself. Okay. So, like, for example, as a mentor, as someone that has mentored people, taught classes, done a lot of work for a lot of people, and as someone that has had apprentices, still do have apprentices, um, It should never be in my nature to feel as though any of those people are beneath me. And I've never been like that. And because of that, because I am not like that, I have went through many, many struggles because of that. Because a lot of people, again, they relate spirituality with religion, to where somebody is above you and you are the sheep. You are the sheeple, they are the predator, you are the prey. And so that is what led to so many people in the spiritual community preying upon people. And so pretty much like, and I think that nothing is necessarily random. Like, even some of the people that I ran into, it was not random. They were targeting people. As a spiritualist healing witch that is very eclectic, not once have I ever in my life, ever, I wouldn't care what the situation is. I have never looked upon and preyed upon someone's family and began doing work on them so that I could trap them and take from them and abuse them and try to torture them and use them. In fact, I am direct proof of that, because when I started my YouTube channel, this particular channel, in fact, in December of 2015, all I had to do was put up the channel and I began receiving clients, people requesting readings, people buying readings in droves, people buying spell work. And it was done with a purity and an honesty. Those people came to me. I didn't cast any spells to bring in specific people that I had done research on their Akashic records. So what I'm saying to you guys is that when the Briscoe family, which is my grandmother, all of her descendants became under attack, that shit was not random. We were chosen for that, and we were chosen because of many, many, many different reasons, but it's still plain and ordinary ignorance. It is. Even if, and so what I say this to say this is that I feel very strongly that a lot of these practitioners out here, they went looking, they went searching for power. Possibly that some of them already had, but for you to go and search and seek people to steal from them and steal their power and to abuse them and try to do harm to them, you apparently don't have anything of your own. You don't have the power on your own. And I'm talking about they were seeking out people's energy and power that wasn't even on YouTube. These are innocent people that work regular jobs, right? They work regular jobs. They were lucky enough to have those jobs. Some people may have been targeted, like, for example, my grandmother, Lena Briscoe. She used to be in the Eastern Star. And then my grandmother was always very successful in her life. My grandfather was a successful photographer. Okay, he was actually taken out very early on. And so it's not necessarily a coincidence, a lot of the stuff that we have saw transpire. But at the end of the day, if you are somebody that was a part of that, you are going to have to explain yourself. You're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to eventually face your music on that. because these people out here are not just your fucking meat for you to eat them. These people out here are people. You cause suffering to innocent people. You targeted innocent people and their families and their children. You, again, like King Solomon, tried to offer those people's children to Moloch, and you know what you were doing. And so that is the reason why they are in a tailspin right now at this moment. In particular, I'm going to tell y'all the truth about the situation. In particular, a lot of them that are of the higher upper echelon that are utilizing Bible science. And so this is one of the reasons why there are some witches that, while we accept and we love Christians like wholeheartedly and would never do anything to hurt them, because many Christians are just very humble. You know, they believe in what they believe in, and you know, they're good people. But when you start to look at the upper higher ups, especially when you look at certain, like these mega churches and stuff, that, you know, to where it wasn't about Christ, it wasn't about the religion itself, but it was more so about pastor having a brand new vehicle. It was more about pastor having the best clothes and the best suits and the best shoes, while his congregation suffered, barely being able to get any help from the churches that they sought out. And everybody has a choice on whether or not they want to deal with that. So there was a revolution a little over a decade ago where people really got tired of that. Now, there are some people that left the church, left the religion. There are some people that stayed with the religion, but they just stepped away. But they were leery about things like that, but they still made out good. But then when you look at what's happening on YouTube, and this is where there is a direct break, there is a direct problem within the spiritual community, especially amongst Black spiritualists, especially amongst those that practice hoodoo, because there are some Black spiritualists on here that would never, ever, ever utilize the Bible at all. In fact, they don't like it. They reject it completely and totally. But then again, there are some that do utilize the Bible while at the same time saying that they're practicing witchcraft. Now, is it anybody's fault that there are a lot of people, like I'm talking about a majority of people, even our clients, even the people that come to us for mentoring, they are questioning the usage of the Bible while practicing science, while practicing not science, but alchemy and witchcraft. They question you for that. They don't trust it. It's not that they even have anything against religion. It's just that it makes no sense to a lot of people that know about witchcraft and alchemy, and knowing how it works, they don't understand and they are unaccepting of the usage of the Bible. And the reason why they question it is because the Bible was used to rob many, many, many people of everything that they had. And so when they look at these people, that when it's a Christian witch, I'm just the messenger, and people, I get attacked, but for telling the fucking truth, even though they destroyed my channel. For some reason, these people are always, they got their panties in the fucking bunch. They be having 100, 200, 300 people watching and shit. But when I come on here and speak the truth, they get mad. That is the truth. But it's not something that the spiritual community exactly even gives a shit about. You know, as somebody that is a polytheist, somebody that is not Christian, somebody that if you want to talk about labels, okay, then I would consider myself to be a pagan. It's not something that I give a shit about. It's not something that I care about. I don't even care about it, but they do. They care about it. They're the ones still tripping off of it. Why is it? Is it because you are still, is it because of your greed? Is it because of your continuation of how you are trying to tap into those energies that are literally taking from other people, people's Akashic records that you have read and you have latched onto, and you're following those people's families? You are literally at the hub and the center of all the gang stalking that is happening to a lot of witches. Probably some of them, I can't even see them. I can't even see them because they've separated us. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of witches, especially on YouTube, that I can't even see their channels. Maybe if I search witch being stalked, being gang stalked, you don't see them. They're hidden. They're hidden, and it's done that way for a reason. And it's fucking sad the way y'all did that to people. And you're gonna have to answer for that. You are not going to get away with doing that. You're not gonna get away with traveling to people's families' plots and stealing the graveyard dirt of people's grandmothers, great grandmothers, and fathers. You're not gonna get away with that. And utilizing rape. Oh God, utilizing rape and sexual crimes that you know damn well you called for. Oh, you sound just like the oppressor. You did exactly what they do. You followed it to the last letter, the exact blueprint. You followed it. You followed it. And you know you did. And you're full of shit. And you're still at it. You're still at it. What are you going to do when your well one runs dry? Because it will. You and what's crazy about it is that you didn't have to do it. Witchcraft is a complete system that is set up with balance and justice. You went after witches. You went after their family. You even took advantage of the fucking shit that they went, and you called on it and you binded it. You took it and you binded it. And you said, I'm going to bind the oppression. I'm going to bind the hate. I'm going to bind the rape. I'm going to force. I'm going to pull shit down. I'm going to go to Colombia. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking do that so that I can call forth the fucking toxic masculinity. And I'm going to fucking do everything that I can to fucking trap the divine feminines of the family, and I'm gonna fuck them over, and I don't give a fuck about what happens to them, and I'm gonna call on the death of them, fuck them, take them to the fucking meat grinder, feed them to the fucking sharks, rape them, destroy them as long as I get my goddamn money. Bitch, you didn't give a fuck. And I know who you are, and you already know y'all did it. And you know what? Now you ain't gonna, we not waiting for you to admit to that shit because that would be huge. You ain't got the power to do that. You gonna hide from that. You are, but you already know what you gonna have to deal with in spirit. You already know what you gonna have to deal with in spirit. You know it. You gonna have to deal with that shit. You gonna have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with that. And please get off of the whole thing about money. If you were in the position of that y'all put a lot of these fucking witches in, I remember one of these witches on here. I don't know if she was completely innocent. I have no idea. I've never researched it, but I know that they sent that woman so many death threats that she left. For me, I called your fucking bluff. You told me you could kill my kids. You told me you was going to take my kids and you was going to make sure my kids got raped by every goddamn pedophile in fucking America. And I called your fucking bluff, and I'm going to continue to call your fucking bluff. Get rid of whoever that is. I'll do it. Yeah, bitch, I ain't your fucking sis. I ain't your fucking sis. I don't have to do what the Bible tells me to do, bitch. I'm not Christian. I don't have to follow that doctrination. Not even your own fucking people, not even your own congregation follows that. And no, the Bible does not say to bless those that curse you. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. It might have said that in one verse, but in another verse is telling you to curse the fuck out of those people. So I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I don't even know why you came in here talking that shit to me. Something wrong with you. And you cannot give spiritual advice to people nor guidance when you are possessed. Coming in here talking about some damn sis. I'm not your sister, trust me. I don't even know you. And I don't even care about you. I don't know you people. Y'all the one that came on here trying to create karmics with other people. Y'all the ones that did that shit. Sit back and fucking listen. You can't teach me shit. You can't teach me shit when you tried to rob all 12 of my motherfucking houses and the houses of everybody in my goddamn family. So shut the hell up, girl. Bye. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. What you need to get your ass, what you need to do is take you in that damn Bible and get your asses out of the damn spiritual community amongst fucking witches. And I am not alone in that. I am in damn good company when we telling you that. You ain't about to come into no community of witches, hon, of cosmic witches, karmic witches, hedge witches, fucking dark witches, black witches, and thump your Bible at us. You ain't about to do that, honey. That's been the main problem. And you get nothing from the divine feminine or the divine masculine. Trust me. Trust me. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, and this is the whole thing about it. She interrupted what the fuck I said on fucking purpose. You fucking, you goddamn fucking vagabond ass backbiting bitch. I think it's all that goddamn fucking DNA switching your ass that you did while you was turning yourself into a fucking parasite. Yeah, I don't know what you gonna do. I guess you just gonna have to recycle yourself and come back in the next lifetime literally as a fucking parasite, sis. Let me talk about this. Y'all don't have no listen. Y'all don't have the power to run and control everybody. And a lot of y'all were black women, and y'all are an embarrassment and a fucking disgrace to the black fucking community of witches on here. You are a disgrace, and we all know who you are and what you have been doing, and it is disgusting and ridiculous. The way that you ordained and called down rape and violation to innocent people, the way you stalked. You're not a witch, you are a stalker at the end of the day. And if you can't handle the truth, get the fuck out of my face. Nobody really actually fucking respects you. Nobody. And nobody trusts you, because in order for a person to fucking respect you, they have to trust you. And they don't trust you. And you're not going to continue to try to fucking torture. And you ain't got no damn flex. You don't have no flex. Because what you did was you violated, is what you did. You know you violated. You did. If it was meant for you to have fame and fortune, if it was meant for you to have fame and fortune and riches, you wouldn't have had to rape nobody. And so what y'all have been doing is trying to create a fucking distraction. Big time. Big time. Especially when y'all bring y'all asses on here talking about Beyonce and all of this stuff and Illuminati and all of that stuff. Hey, a lot of us, a lot of us still listen to Beyonce's music. You know what I'm saying? But we're living our lives, and you tried to set a lot of us up that started our channels, and you wasn't afraid to go there, but now you're gonna have to go back, and you're gonna have to answer for the things that you did. So I got kind of off track. I wanted to come and warn you guys. And if you look at my community wall, it tells you to be careful about unethical readers and exploitation. And when you see an unethical person, they may have the gift. There's a lot of people out here that got spiritual gifts, but they're unethical and they will exploit you. And you don't want to deal with somebody unethical and their explanation about I had to do what I had to do. If you were not flexing at them or doing any harm to them to the point where they basically created that between you so that they would have an excuse to tap in to your DNA to steal from you. Now, if you came to them and you did something to them, right? If you made that move, because everybody got the right to protect somebody from their intention of treachery. But if you went to them because you thought that they were going to guide you and you thought that they were going to help you, and instead what they did was they may have helped you a little bit, but what they did was they held, and I know how they did. I know about this stuff. They reading your past, your future, your current. They're smelling your blood. They like hounds. They like hound dogs. Right? They're smelling your essence. And for them to look at that and to read that and say, shit, this person got a connection to this. I'm not going to tell them. I'm going to withhold this information because I want this for myself. And yes, they do know how to invade. Yes, they do. They know how to do that. The first thing they did to you was dream magic. That was the very first step that they took, was tapping into your subconscious easily while you were asleep. Why? Because they lack autonomy. They're unethical. They didn't, I've used dream magic on my clients, but it was to heal them. It's the easiest way to do it because there are so many people that when they're active and they're awake, they're kind of resistant. It's harder. But to tap in so that you can steal from them, that's horrifying. In the meantime, they got richer. You stayed where you were at. They didn't really tap you in to your abundance. And why? They knew you were going to need it. Look at what we're dealing with now. They wanted it for themselves and they want more. They want more. It's not good enough. It's never enough. It's called greed. They're like a black hole. It's like a damn void. And that's a damn shame. That's a low down dirty shame. Hell, you'd have did better just praying and going to church then if that was the case. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that because everybody doesn't directly benefit from that. I can honestly say that because even they have blocked that off because they want control over you, because patriarchy wants to control you. That's why you have to make sure that if you're going, okay, so for example, right? I'm not a lesbian. I'm not, a feminist or anything like that. I don't live in that reality. I live in a reality where I am in love with a man. I am in love. That's what I like. That's what I want. That's my preference. I'm not, I've never meant to ever be demeaning to anybody that's lesbian, but y'all know the history. If you don't know the history, then I'll just let me know in the comment section and I'll let y'all know what it's about. But that doesn't mean that I would ever be with a man that is trying to demean me. That's stupid. Like, don't ever be with a man that's trying to block you and trying to block you off, because technically even if he's Christian, you don't want somebody that's going to do that, and he's going to be all right. You're going to be all right. But they're practicing to the point where they're waking it up. They're waking it up. You know what I'm saying? They want that patriarchal, toxic, masculine energy to kick off in your ass so that you can be wounded, so that you can be injured, so that you can be hurt. That's what they want. Makes it easier for them. They're randomly choosing people on the internet. That's, a lot of these people dabbling in witchcraft is why a lot of people keep their stuff on private. Yeah, a lot of people, when you look at that movie Get Out, that's exactly what some of these so-called witches did. And I'm not afraid of them. Be afraid of you for what? What are you going to do? Attack me? What are you going to do? Humiliate me? You're going to rape me? You're going to kill me? The fuck are you going to do? Attack me? You're going to psychically attack me? Get the fuck out of here. That's what they do. I witnessed them doing it. It wasn't a coincidence that you ran into these people. These people saw you. They, some of y'all that are being gang stalked, you may have had people go to them, and they took advantage, especially if you have family problems. You got to be very careful with who you trust with your family business. And then, a lot of families ain't being kind to one another. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are making blood sacrifices of their people. They don't give a damn. They was waiting on you, when you got out of that situation. Some of your family was like, I don't know how the fuck you survived that shit. And I thought your ass would be dead a long time ago. Why ain't you dead yet? I'm pissed off. What the fuck are you doing here? That's sad when you find that out, that your own family knew about the shit and they would have rathered you had gone ahead and died. Hell, they waiting on that life insurance to mature. They waiting on the payout. They don't give a damn. That's sad. And then it was spell work done on you to make you sad about the shit. To make you say, well, fuck it, I ain't got no fucking family, so I want to kill my fucking self. When they pulled the rug from underneath you, they said, shit, they said, here, kill yourself then, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you. I'm a desperate, depraved ass fucking person. I'm still trying to sacrifice your black ass to Moloch or whatever other entity that's ready to take your ass as an adult. Because Moloch mainly, he deals in children. Moloch does. Moloch deals in children. He likes the souls of children. There's another entity that likes the souls of adults, and it's not Satan. It's not Satan. It's not. Or Lucifer. Or Lucifer. Satan and Lucifer are fallen angels. They're fallen angels, okay? Right? Okay. So, but it if I was to get into what the fuck it is, it's many. It's many. It's a lot of different ones. Some of them ain't even really of this earth, but then again, some of it is made up of a collective consciousness that has been doing this shit for thousands of years. It's been going on for thousands of fucking years. That's why a lot of y'all work hard, y'all focus, y'all do all this stuff. Some of y'all even did go to college. It didn't mean shit. You couldn't get a damn job. You found out that was a scam. Even when you did get a job, you thought you could tell your family where the fuck you worked and they was plotting against your job. It just is what it is, man. Technically, you're not supposed to attack. If you're a witch, you're not supposed to attack another witch, technically. And, but there are witches that will attack other witches and they're in battle and all of that. For me, guys, that's why I don't like fucking social media. You know what I'm saying? That social media gets on my last nerve. And serious about YouTube. A lot of these witches and Christian witches, they serious as the fuck about YouTube. For some reason, I'm like, well, what the hell difference does that make? What advertising platform it is? You know what I'm saying? It's just something about YouTube. They have a fixation on it because they feel like YouTube is connected to their success. I guess, I don't know. Ain't nobody bothered their channels. I know my channel ain't grew in 6 years because my channel was harassed. I ain't bothered none of my adversaries' channels, and they channels done grew. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to flag your disingenuous ass channel. It ain't about that. It's sad, but it's the fucking truth. A lot of these witches on here, they only get 100 views per video, but they making 100 grand a year in sales of their spells because they knew the right thing to do. Hold on, y'all. And a lot of people say, well, why you got to make 100 grand a year? Why you got to make all that money? Why you got? Well, because when you run a spiritual business, there's a certain percentage of the money that you're going to make that you have to actually invest back into the business. Hello. If you're running a business, you have to have supplies. Some people run a business out of a separate, they do their rituals and things out of a separate location other than their home. Some people have actual shops and stuff, so they have to pay for overhead and stuff like that. And they wanted all the views because they need to pay for their overhead, and then they need to pay for their vacations and they expensive fancy motherfucking cars and purses and shoes and shit. So they want that AdSense money. Okay. And they want to feel powerful. They want to feel like they got over on somebody. They want to feel like this and feel like that. It's fucking sad. You know what I'm saying? When they could have done all that, because technically I'm in agreement with a lot of people. I don't think that they can steal your energy necessarily. They can't steal it. I've seen them separate people from it or either oppress your potential, but it's more so like a circumstantial type of thing. I think it's a timing thing. It's connected to time. It's more so time, right? It ain't even really about energy. It's connected to time. Now, how they do it, though, I will tell you is that there are certain spirits and energies and entities that will reward them for access to your energy and your soul. Now, I do know that much. I ain't never done no shit like that. I ain't never traveled to the underworld under no bullshit like, hey, I need to sell this person's soul. I can honestly say I have never done that and I never will. And I never will. For what? As far as I'm concerned, your soul is worthless to me. A lot of them don't even have no damn soul. I don't, what the hell I need to do that for? I don't want to have nothing to do with that. But a lot of them can, and they have done that. They have. And if you're a person that is well connected and you feel it, and that's exactly what they're doing. As far as energy and destiny swapping, destiny is connected to time. So, I know about that. Sometimes when I'm helping a client, it can take me a few hours, sometimes several hours. It's connected to time. So they do some real easy shit and they got time. They got hella time to live their life while you fucking struggling and running into even more people that are trying to make the come up. It's like they turned our craft into a fucking pyramid scheme, bro. And a lot of witches that are serious about their craft are pissed off about it. It's like a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's like a pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? While at the same time, ain't much healing going on. Ain't much healing going on. I think the day that witchcraft was turned into a pyramid scheme, I think that a lot of people just said, "Oh my God, what the fuck is this shit?" Then you got to understand the shamanistic aspect of it is that in their reality, it will work and they will trap you in there. So there's different realities. It is. It's different realities, various realities. You know what I'm saying? So and they are aware of that while you aren't aware of that. And the whole reality that they're in, big time, you are a slave under that reality. And when you try to reality shift, that's when shit gets scary. It can get scary because they know that you're shifting consciousness and they know that you're shifting and they don't want you to shift because they want something from you. And they done kept whole families for generations fucked up like that. For generations. They done programmed a lot of the older people, the elders in your fucking family. They was real slick with it. Well, my generation, what they did was they did that and they did that, and you just fucked up and you just ain't got. And it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. You supposed to be an elder. You supposed to be uplifting. You supposed to be educating. You supposed to be nurturing. So then that's why y'all notice that y'all elders became very toxic and very demonic and evil towards you. And even though you were respectful to them and but you found out that their intention was not to uplift you. Their intention was to fucking screw you. And it's like, well, where is that coming from? Well, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck knows? All you know is that nobody has the fucking authority over you except for you and your relationship with God and your spirits or whatever you doing. But that's why a lot of y'all generational wealth, you lost it. They still in inheritances and shit. If you in a family where your parents died and they stole your fucking inheritance, then you know what the fuck you dealing with, don't you? And it's fucked up. And they mad as hell. They don't give a fuck about you. For whatever reason. Shit. I say that it's possession. That's where the witches come in, because that possession was put into place for a fucking reason. It was put into place for somebody's purpose. That's why, unfortunately, you end up with with cases where you got family violence going on and shit. Is crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's not even to say that you may just have a bad egg in your family, somebody that for whatever reason fucked around and fucked over and shit, and they don't, they only pretend that they care about you, but at the end of the day, they sacrificing you. They want you as a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And this, it's not meant for the sacrifice to survive or prosper. Come on now, y'all know the fucking story, Cinderella and shit. A lot of Cinderella, little fantasy shit. You know what I'm saying? They done made up, the evil stepmother, the crone, and then they got all the damn, Snow White and shit like that, and the fucking seven bears or whatever the fuck that shit. And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit going on, but it's actually affecting you. So, you have to be careful. It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is what it is, not the. I said the Seven Bears. It's a lot of that shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Your thing is to survive, but so many of y'all have been in survival mode for so long that now you sick and you tired, and you don't have to be in survival mode to survive it. But they want to put you in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? That's why they calling you and saying upsetting things to you, because they don't want to let you relax and manifest and do the shift. They don't want you to do that when they can pick up on you shifting the reality, and that's why they come at you and they disrespect you and say evil shit to you, because they want to kick in survival mode in you. But your survival mode should not be hurting you. If survival mode kicks in, you need to have the kind of guidance that you can trust, to where it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? We're going to make that survival mode work for you and transmute it into what it is that you need, because this is fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So, y'all going to be all right. But a lot of these fucking diabolical people out here, that I couldn't even imagine that shit. I done did a lot of readings for people, and I tell people what their power is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will say, I don't know who I am, because I've mentored and worked with a lot of witches, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid. Like, you could decide to turn against me. I don't give a fuck. What is that? Is that it, As far as I'm concerned, get your money and get the hell out of my face then, go on, you know what I'm saying? And it just, but some people are not like that. They paranoid, they delusional, they crazy, they want to be grandiose. They may compare your shit to they shit and feel your shit is better. So, now they want to withhold that information from you. That's crazy. So you just got to be careful, especially if you feel like you're an empath or a healer or a witch. You have to be careful about who you allow to read you. You do, because they're unethical. Those of us that are ethical, they tried to step all over us and put us through the fucking meat grinder. And then they said, well, bitch, you weak. And it's like, well, being an honest person, that's not weak. That's not weak, being an honest person. Why the fuck would I, why? And they feel like, well, I've been doing this for so many years, and so I'm going to get away with it. But you know what? They not. They not going to get away with it. Everybody that has unethical business practices eventually is going to have to face the music. So what they've been doing is stashing away money, doing whatever they can and getting whatever they can out of it because they know that they know their time been up. That's sad, the way you took advantage of people, the way and you don't give a fuck because you are possessed by your depravity and your desperation and your fear. And all the rest of us that you did that to, we free. We free and we happy. We ain't worrying about that. You worried about it, sis. Because you fucked up and you did wrong. And then you even got guns together and fucking, they made it real mob style and shit. When they started to talk about and speak about guns, that was when Santa Martha came and helped her people. So that's probably when you first became contacted by Santa Martha, because she came in to let you know that your life was in danger, that they was willing to bust guns at you to kill you and say, fuck it. If you don't do what I need and do what I say, I'll kill you. I'll murder you. And that's when Santa Martha said, nah, you ain't gonna be murdering shit. So a lot of y'all that keep Santa Martha in your heart or either on your altar, that's the reason why. Because your life was threatened. It's crazy. And it was mainly and primarily, what is really embarrassing about it, because I'm going to be honest with y'all straight up and down, you ain't really seen any white established spiritual businesses that have done that. It was mainly the black ones that bought guns, and they was watching Baby Boy one day, and they said that's what we need is guns and butter, and we gonna go out here and we gonna terrorize and torment witches and shit, and it was like, what are you doing? It was sick. I don't want no part of it. I don't operate that way. I don't even need guns. I've never owned a gun in my life. I'm not afraid of guns either, or bullets. You know what I mean? It's crazy the way they turned the spiritual community into a war zone. Who the hell? Where'd that come from? And they was serious as the hell about it. There was this one lady, they had her so messed up. Oh my God. They done took down many people that, they just put up their channels and they was doing their readings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? All of them wasn't no good, but some of them was out. They was out for blood. It's like, well, damn, what are you so angry at? What they was hungry. Shit. My parents had very good jobs. My mother was very successful. My grandmother was. I didn't come from that. So the deeper the poverty that they may have came from, the worse they behaved. And they definitely was not respecting nobody's fucking boundaries. Y'all be like, respect boundaries and breathe into it. Not them. They was they came out here busting guns. They said I'm fine. Tell me where that witch is that people are looking at and got some success, and I'll blow her fucking head off so I can do a love spell for somebody. That's what they said. They said, I want to be the head honcho of everybody. I am everything. I want, and it's like, well, how you gonna take all them cases? So then that's when they started putting people in groups and shit. That shit got out of hand too. I'm just telling y'all. They be trying to attack me every day, coming up with all kind of stuff. I'm gonna do some alchemy on her, because they know what I know. Been knowing what I know. Been trying to block me from that information. It's sick. It's like, God damn. And they'll tell you need to get a job because big bank take little bank. Whatever business you were supposed to have, I want that. It's like, oh God, like really? It's like, oh God, please stop. On King Solomon. On King Solomon. We coming for your babies. We coming for your grandbabies. We coming for, it's like you ain't like you are. And then they even, Stefan, I know that's you in the thing. They even got sadistic with it too. Now I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back like the top elite. Like I'm in 50 Shades of Grey. I'm gonna sit back with the top elite, like I'm on Eyes Wide Shut, and I'm gonna enjoy this nigga coming out here telling you just a slut, and open up your legs, bitch, and take some dick, bitch, and fuck you, bitch, suck my dick, and bitch, you ain't shit, and that's who you supposed to be. All of a sudden, you just a common whore. You just a common whore. They gonna come on here. They gonna turn you into a common whore. And it's like, are you in the sex industry? You got you dipping and dabbling in that too? Like, damn. And that's when Santa Martha kicks in. That's when Santa Martha kicks in. And she's like, what in the hell is this? What is this? They will try to derail your life. So yeah, okay. So destiny swapping, that is a real thing. But what they do is they put circumstances in your life. No, you're not this. Let's put you on this path, and let's blatantly try to make you this or make you that. And it's like, God, it's like, and if you have any kind of pride or self-respect, that's how they kick you more. It's like, but you didn't never have no business doing any of that anyway. We on YouTube. I don't even know you, bitch. I don't even know you. Oh, you know who I am because I've been watching you for years. What in the fucking psychopathic nutcase shit is this? They've been watching you and studying you for years. Going all the way back when you first put up your first MySpace account. Was you trying to? Yeah, they it's fucking crazy. It is. It's like, go on with your life. And then they said, well, I fucked up. I fucked up, but I'm gonna drag you down there with me. No, you not. What are you talking about? Nah, I fucked up. You gonna have to go with me, cause the Bible says that you ain't supposed to be practicing witchcraft anyway. I ain't falling for that one. Some people will fall for that. Well, you're right. I shouldn't have been practicing that witchcraft. No, God told me to practice witchcraft. And God told me that he loved me anyway. That's what God told me. You know what I'm saying? They right. Oh, I am not interested in watching that crud. I'm not. Mm-mm. I'm not interested in watching that crud. No. Anastasia. And no, thank you. You know, no. So it just is like, damn. You ever see some shit like that? I'm an ordained minister and I practice witchcraft. What? What? So you an ordained minister? You got ordained in Christianity, but you're a witch? So I listen to all of you Christian witches out there, because people that are Christian witches, they really hate my ass. Next thing you know, they'll be trying to read the Psalms and stuff and be trying to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? They be serious about that shit too. They be serious about that shit. They can't stand my ass. It's like, well, you should have never tried to have authority over me. Who gave you that authority? Your mama. My mama can't give you that authority, boo boo. My mama can't give you that authority, sweetie. No. No. Can't nobody give you that authority. Can't nobody give you that authority. Well, you're just a black bitch and that's how black families are now. No. Can't nobody in my family give you authority over me. No. No. You heard me? No. No. Oh, were your third cousin going down? No. Can't nobody do that. But they will try to make your life a living fucking hell. To the point where, you supposed to be uh, uh, meditating to 333 hertz or something, and they run around doing some goofy shit. Now you done got distracted. You ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. Half of y'all supposed to be living y'all life. You can't live your life. You can't live your life because because they got you tied up in their bullshit. I'm telling you, the shit is crazy. Crazy, man. Anywho, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, y'all. I just don't get it. I really don't. I just don't get it. It's very sick. And, it really mainly, I'm going to tell y'all something straight up and down. It really mainly affected a lot of black people. Mainly. They did that to a lot of black women. Now all they doing is on here telling you about the problems that the exacerbated in your family. To be honest with you, a lot of y'all had broke those generational curses, whatever it was, and you had gotten away from it, and they pulled you back to it. Now now you trying to figure out how to not live in that shit no more. You had already done that. And it's because of their unethical their unethical behavior is what that is. You ask me, they timing was bad, because look at all this stuff we got going on here in this world. They timing was all messed up. They should have maybe Maybe they shouldn't have did this in any lifetime, but they shouldn't have did that in this lifetime. Because especially right now, a lot of women and children are in crisis and they're contributing to it. They're contributing to a lot of crises that women are going through. And these are supposed to be witches. They're supposed to be women. And they contributed to that. Especially a lot of y'all that would have preferred to get out of this damn country right now. You can't do it because you ain't got the funding to do it. Because, you know what I'm saying? You know, you just don't have the funding to do it. Who was that? Wasn't that Tupac Shakur's mother or somebody had moved out? A lot of black people, when they be trying to escape black people and they attack, because black people attack black people a lot. Somebody moved out of the United States and was like a refugee or whatever. They mm-mm. Let's stay here and deal with it the best way you can. I know that right now I wish that I could get out of the country before the fall. Just leave the country, take all my loved ones with me, my man, everything. I would love to leave this country. Can't do it. I ain't got the funding for that. You know what I mean? So, anywho, that's pretty much it, you guys. I think it's ridiculous. Especially when they damn spells don't even fucking work for you. That's what's crazy is when they spells ain't working. The shit ain't even fucking working. Working for you. This is what I don't understand. How the hell are you gonna make a? Listen. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm. How you gonna make a witchcraft spell manifest when you're calling on the energy that shuts it down? So that's what I can't wrap around my head when it comes to people mixing and conjoining witchcraft with the Bible. Like that just makes no sense. But I think that they possibly, the only thing I can think of is the whole King Solomon thing, because King Solomon, he did work with, or at least he pissed off a lot of the goetic demons, but he also, um, it is a fact that King Solomon um, um, uh, burned a lot of babies. He sacrificed a lot of babies and children. Okay. And a lot of I could tell when I spoke about that. I could tell that it was a few people that was kind of angry at me, because a lot of black people that have a Bible, they always have the King. Is it King? Is King James ain't the same as? See, I don't really know all of that about the Bible. I don't even claim to, but they y'all know how they are. All I know is that a lot of people are pissed off because they left religion because they were abused. You care to explain that? You care to explain to all of the people who suffered from religious abuse? Not everybody. Everybody didn't suffer from religious abuse. You care to explain why you lied to those people and claimed that you were the answer? You were the solution to their healing from religious abuse, but then you ended up basically religiously abusing them, spiritually abusing them. You care to explain that to the people? They not gonna explain it. They'll come with some stupid ass ignorant um bullshit, because when a lot of people that are wrong, when they're doing wrong, a lot of people that are wrong, they can't they lack having an intelligent response to it. So, you know. hmm Anywho, that's pretty much it. I'll see y'all later. Okay. Y'all have a happy Thursday. Okay. All right. Blessings to you guys.